Good morning and Jai Hind children. I welcome you all in today's live class of biology. Children, we are discussing the chapter Our Forest. Is it? And in previous class, I have discussed the answers of oral questions too. And I hope that you understood those all answers. Alright? Now, today I am going to summarize the overall chapter with the help of concept map. Alright? Children, in this chapter, mainly we have discussed the two important things related to the forest. That first one is its importance, and the second one is its conservation. The importance of forest for our life, for our society, and the conservation of forest as the deforestation is going to occur, and due to that the number of trees are going to cut more and more, so that is why it is demand to conserve it. So the different methods of conservation of forest and the importance. So first of all, the importance of forest. There are different importance of forest we have in our life, and one of the importance is the forest absorb carbon dioxide. Second importance is it prevents soil erosion. The next importance is it maintains water table. The next importance is it supply oxygen. And one more importance is there that it, yes, it prevent the floods. So these are the five importance that we have discussed of forest in our life. Children, the first importance is there, it absorbs carbon dioxide. As you know that in the process of photosynthesis, plants take carbon dioxide, they absorb carbon dioxide from the air and use this to produce food and oxygen. Alright? So, this is one of the importance of forest that it absorbs carbon dioxide because excess carbon dioxide is harmful for atmosphere. It is responsible to increase the temperature. Okay? Second importance of soil is it prevents soil erosion as the roots of the trees bind the soil particles, and because of it the particles of soil not get eroded easily either while moving air or by flowing water. Get it? The trees also, yes, reduce the velocity of the winds or moving winds, and that is why the soil erosion gets prevented. The next importance is there, it maintains water table. And because of more and more seepage of water by the soil, the water table gets recharged. And the seepage occurs because of the presence of the trees. The roots of the plants are helping in the seepage of water. Otherwise, most of the water get flow off. Alright. The next importance is it supply oxygen. Children, as in the photosynthesis process, they absorb carbon dioxide and they produce the oxygen. And as you know that oxygen is an important gas which required by all living organism, all the animals for respiration. Alright, so it help to supply the oxygen or help to maintain the oxygen in atmosphere. And one more importance which is given here, that it prevents flood. At the time of flood, excess water that comes through the rain, so this excess water get prevented as a flood by that area by the presence of trees, as most of the water get absorbed, get seepage and recharge the water table. Alright, and as it also stop the soil erosion, so flooding not occurs easily. Alright, children. So these all are the importance of forest in our life. Now the next is there conservation. As the deforestation is going to occur more and more, so there is a need to conserve the forest. And for conservation of forest, there are different methods are suggested. Alright, like first is land harvesting. The next, afforestation. Protection from fire. Protection from insects and pests. And protection from overgrazing. These are the different methods of conservation of forest. A little in. Like the first one is suggested here, the plant harvesting. It is a method in which some of the trees are allowed to cut from the forest and rest of the small trees are not allowed to cut, as these small trees again gets big, again gets large and maintains the number of trees in the forest. So this method of conservation of forest is known as plant harvesting. Get it? So this is also a way of conservation of forest in which some large trees are allowed to cut to fulfill the requirement of wood, timber and all, and rest of the small trees are not allowed, and these rest of the trees again maintains the number of the trees and again produce their seeds. Get it? Now, the second method of conservation is afforestation. Planting the new small plants or the saplings in the areas which get deforested. Alright, or in the areas where trees are not present. So, in such all areas, the planting of saplings or the small plants takes place, by which after some time the area have more and more trees, or the number of trees can be increased. So this method is known as afforestation method of conservation of forest. Now in next method, protection from fire. Children, as you know that because of the fire, number of trees get damaged, get burned in the forest because of the fire, forest fire. So we must have to protect the trees from fire, and this fire occurs sometimes because of the, yes, carelessness of us, carelessness of human beings, and sometimes it occurs by the, yes, because of the lightning. So the trees must get protected from the fire to conserve the forest. The next method is suggested here, that protection from pests and insects. The pests different, and the insects, they infect the trees, and because of that the number of trees get infected and they get damaged. So that is why, to protect the trees or forest from insects and pests, we can use insecticides and pesticides to kill the insects and the pests. And nowadays, biological predators of insects are also present there, like certain birds who feed on insects. Alright, so these methods can also be used to protect the trees from insects and pests. The next one is there, protection from overgrazing. Overgrazing also damages, also harmful for the forest, as due to the overgrazing by the cattle, the plants are not able to grow. They get damaged, and due to that, the number of trees get reduces in the forest. So this overgrazing must be protected. It must be stopped. Alright, so that the small plants gets the chance to grow and they becomes the trees. Okay, so these all are the different methods which are suggested here that we have discussed in the chapter for conservation of forest. Okay, now children, in the importance of the forest that we have explained here, some more importance we have of the forest for us, like forest help to cool the air. It increases the amount of rainfall. It also provides food and shelter for wildlife, as well as it gives certain forest products. It is. So these are also the importance of forest for us. The first of all, that cools air, as by the process of transpiration, the excess water from the plants get transpired from the stomaters. Okay, and increase the amount of water vapors. And due to that, it helps to cool the air. Okay, it also increases the rainfall chances as the vapors forms the cloud and it occurs the rain. So more vapors means more trees, and more trees will gives the more vapor, and that will help in the rainfall. Just like that, they also provide food and the shelter. The leaves of the plants, fruits of the plants, and the flowers of the plants are eaten by the different kinds of animals which are living in forest. So the trees are going to provide food to them, and the number of animals are living on the trees. Birds make their nest on the trees. Alright, so they provide them the shelter. And in the absence of such trees, the animals will not get the proper food and shelter. As a result, they are not able to survive longer. And the next importance is given here, that forest products. Number of forest products that we use, different industries are based on them, like gum, rubber, okay, lak industry. So these all are the products that we obtain from the forest, from certain trees of the forest. Alright, and the different industries are based on them. So these all are the importance for us from forest. If the forest will not be there, trees get cut more and more, so they all will affected, and we are not able to get them. Alright, children. So this one is the complete concept map of the chapter about forest, and I hope that this concept map help you to understand the different topics that we have discussed in the chapter. Okay. Now, after this, I'm going to start the, yes, book exercise. All right. In book exercise, the first exercise is, yes, choose the most appropriate answers. Children, in these questions, the four different options are given to you, and you have to select that the correct answer. Okay, so come to the question number one. And the question is, the lowest layer in the understory of is formed by. Children, remember the understory, that layer present, yes, below the top layer in a forest, which is known as understory. And the lowest layer out of this is formed by which of them? And the options: first, shrubs; second option is herbs; third, trees; and the fourth option is tall grasses. Alright, so these are the four different options, and you have to find out the lower layers in the understory. So children, out of these all, the small size is of the, yes, herbs. The herbs are smaller than shrubs and trees, as well as tall grasses. So they form the lowest layer in the understory. Alright? Now come to the second question. And the question is, which of these is not obtained from a forest product? Children, the different materials which we are using, they are obtained from forest. So out of the given option, you have to find out which of them is not obtained from a forest product. And the options, first one is paper, second is furniture, third one is plastics, and the fourth is medicines. So, children, the paper, which is, yes, made from the wood, that is a forest product. Furniture made from wood, that is also a forest product. And certain medicinal plants are also obtained from the forest. So the third, that plastic, these are not obtained from forest product. They are made from certain chemicals. Alright children. So the correct answer will be plastics. Now come to the question number 3. And the question is, which of the following are called producers? Alright. Which of the following are called producers? And the options: A. Herbivores, B. Carnivores, C. Green plants, and the D is bacteria and fungi. So, children, remember that the producers which we have discussed in the chapter, yes, the living organisms which are able to produce the food. Get it? And only the green plants are able to synthesize the food because they have the pigment chlorophyll and they can do the photosynthesis. So the green plants are the producers, and the herbivores, carnivores, they all are consumers. So the correct answer will be yes, green plants. C will be the correct answer. Okay. Now come to the next question number. Yes, question number 4. And the question is, the first link in all food chains are. The first link in all food chains are, and the options: A. Herbivore, B. Carnivores, C. Green plants, and the D is none of these. Alright, so children, here you have to find out the first link in all food chain, all kind of food chain. It may be the food chain of a grassland, maybe the food chain of any water body. Alright, so everywhere in the food chain, the first link is the, yes, the organism who are able to synthesize the food or produce the food. So you can say that the producers. And out of these given options, the green plants are producer because they can produce food, they can synthesize the food. Okay, so the correct answer will be green plants. All right. Now come to the question number 5. And the question is, which of these enable nutrients present in the bodies of plants and animals to go back to the soil after they die? Alright, children. When the plants and animals die, so which of these out of the given option they enable nutrients present in the bodies of plants and animals to go back to the soil after they die? And the options: first one is producer, B. Primary consumer, option C is secondary consumers, and the option D is decomposers. Alright, so out of these given options, children, you have to find which of these enable nutrients present in the bodies of plants and animals to go back into the soil after they die. So, children, the decomposers, these are the, yes, organisms are the living organisms who decompose the body of plants and animals after they die, and the nutrients which are present in the bodies, they enable them to go back into the soil. Get it? So the correct answer will be decomposers. All right, now the next question, number 6, and the question is, the primary source of energy in nature is. Children, remember that the primary source, it means, yes, the source from where the energy comes first and get utilized to produce the food. So the primary source of energy in nature is, and the option first is, yes, oxygen. Second option, carbon dioxide. Option C, fuels. And option D is sun. So children, out of given these four sources, the primary source of energy in the nature is sun. Alright. And because the sun energy is used by the green plants to produce the food, which is a source of energy that is used by all other animals. So the correct answer will be sun. Now, come to the next question, number 7. And the question is, which of the following does a forest prevent? And the options: A, floods; option B, soil erosion; C, water table from going down; and the D is all of these. So children, here you have to find out that which of the following does a forest prevent. So remember that today we have discussed with the help of, yes, concept map, the forest prevents the floods, soil erosion, as well as it also prevents the water table from going down, because it helps to maintain the water table by more and more seepage of water. It also helps prevent the, yes, soil erosion by binding the particles of soil by the roots, and it also helps to prevent the flood because the water not allowed to flow, they get absorbed. So you can say that all of these, okay, which are prevented by forest. So the correct answer will be all of these. Now come to the next question. Question number 8, and the question is, which of the following does a forest not do? Children, here you have to find out that which of the following does a forest not do. And the options, the first one, supply oxygen. Second option, supply carbon dioxide. Option C, cool the air. And option D is, yes, increase rainfall. Alright, so these are the four different options, and you have to find that yes, the forest not do. Children, as you know that by the help of photosynthesis, they supply oxygen. Okay, they also help to cool the air by the transpiration of water. All right, and they also increases the rainfall because of, yes, transpiring the water in water vapors. They help to increase the rainfall. So they, you can say that they does not supply carbon dioxide. They absorb it. Alright. So the correct answer will be B. That forest not supply carbon dioxide. Okay. Now come to the next question number 9. And the question is, plants do not depend on animals for. And the options, first, pollination. B, food. C is cool the air. Sorry, seed dispersal. And the option D is nutrients. Get it? And you have to find out that out of the four, that plant do not depend on animal. So for pollination, plant depend on animal because certain insects and the animals help in transferring the pollens from anther to stigma. Get it? They also depend for seed dispersal because the certain birds and animals used to disperse the seed of the plant from one place to another place and provide more and more chances for their germination, for their survival. Plants also depend on animals for nutrients because after the death of the animals and the urine and the feces which are given by the animals are gets consumed after the decomposition by the plants as a nutrients. Get it? So the correct answer will be food because plants does not depend on animals for food because they are the producers. They prepare their food, they synthesize their food by themselves. Get it? So they do not depend on animals for food. Alright? Come to the next question number 10. And the question is, flow of energy in nature takes the following path. And children, here the path is given. The first one, carnivores, then herbivores, then green plants. This is the first part. Option B is green plants, herbivores, and then carnivores. This is the second part. And the third part, the third option is sun, green plants, herbivores, and and then carnivores. And the fourth option is sun, carnivores, then herbivores, and then green plants. Alright, so these are the four different paths are given, and you have to find out the flow of energy in nature takes place by which path. So which one is correct? So children, remember that we have discussed that the flow of energy that takes place from one level to another level. Yes, how? That first the sun is the primary source of energy, then the energy get utilized by green plants to synthesize the food, then it transferred to the herbivores and then carnivores. Alright, so this is the correct path of flow of energy. Okay, so children, this one is all about the book exercise. Choose the most appropriate answer, and I hope that you understood these all questions. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.